Prism! Where is that baby?
I mean, it's the perfect story as Twelfth Night is for Shakespeare and The Marriage of Figaro is for Mozart. The language is simply wonderful in it. You don't hear such exquisitely constructed sentences really anymore as you go to Wilde or, you know, there's a wonderful line that I have is come dear. We've already missed 5, if not 6 trains. To miss any more might expose us to comment on the platform. Such an eccentric, wonderful thing to say.
You can't get better writing if you're talking about light comedy, and I think it's pretty well the pinnacle of English wit.
I was incredibly encouraged by the way Wilde's work really had a sort of contemporary feel. The humour feels as though it hadn't dimmed in any way. It still has the same sort of spark. Because I quite like the idea of giving it another airing, with perhaps more of modern cinematic approach to it. In some sense, it seemed a good opportunity to really try and draw it out into something with a bit more scale to it.
I thought Oliver Parker did a wonderful adaptation, and the characters all seemed very modern, especially the women.
I think it's really great the way he's done it. It feels like there's got a lot of movement in it. It doesn't feel like a play, I think. It feels very much like a film.
It's very, very funny, very brilliant. It's very satirical. It kind of gives a very odd explanation of the English spirit of the turn of the century.
I think it's a masterpiece, the play, and I think that Oliver Parker's script is just wonderful. I mean, I think Oscar Wilde must have been in the room when he was doing the script.
You can show the two sides of almost anybody. Wilde, I mean, he is the sort of ultimate dealer in ambiguity.
In the vestry, Dr. Chasuble.
Expecting you, yes.
That sounds serious. I do not think it would be right to keep him waiting, Cecily.
It would be very, very wrong. The vestry is, I am told, excessively damp.
Everything is laced with paradox. So to find sort of a cinematic equivalent of that is what is an exciting challenge.
I think it's very difficult to make a film out of it. I think it's structured perfectly as a piece of theatre in 3 acts. And Oliver's been extremely audacious in opening it up. And I have been amazed at how much freedom there is within it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do it. Algy.
Yes, exactly.
Algy. Algy. No, yeah. Algy. And then she calls Ernest again, is it?
No, she's gone.
She's gone.
Yeah.
Ernest.
And he'll come over here by then. Yeah, and then you have your bit. Yeah? And you could maybe you wouldn't drop the letter. In some senses, you're almost wanting to use. This is why you've got to go. You can't stay here because she's coming. Yeah.
Algy.
Yeah.
Ernest. I can say Ernest now. Probably again.
Yes, because he's deliberately ignoring you.
And so it is I have resolved to flee these prison walls and make my way directly to your side, to my one and only.
Ernest! Ernest! Ernest!
Algy! Algy!
Ernest.
Ah! Good morning, my dear fellow.
You have to talk. You have to leave. If I leave, how can we talk? We cannot both be called Ernest. I don't believe we are, Brother Jack.
God, that was great.
It's very much an ensemble thing, I think. It doesn't have one particular leading part. Maybe Collins. But that's good.
I've acted with Rupert before. I've played his mother in another country. I never met Colin Firth, who was also, of course, the star, one of the stars in that film, but I never met him because I was only in 2 little scenes with Rupert. So it was lovely meeting him properly. And, of course, with Judy, because Judy was Lady Bracknell in the production in which I played Miss Prism. So it's a reunion and meeting new and interesting and very nice people. And I think Oliver's a wonderful director. Really, I'm so enjoying it.
There was a lot of us all worked with each other before, so it's just nice for that sort of sense of reunion, and it's fun. It's not, you're there to work, but it's also they're nice people. They're nice people anyway, even if you didn't.
The rapport all the actors have is so wonderful because we can just sort of easily play with it. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, when you asked me why, what attracted me about this, it's irresistible. I can't imagine anybody saying no to an offer to be among these people. I mean, there isn't one person among the cast that isn't absolutely 100%, first rate and best at what they do. It's fantastic.
An American student once said to me, "Do the audience make any difference to you in the theatre?" I said, "They're the only people we come out of our homes to do it for. Otherwise I'd be at home with my feet up the chimney." I don't know how it will be received. I just know that that we've done it now, and I hope it brings a lot of people pleasure.
My nephew, you seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta. I've now realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.
The woman is a gorgon, a complete and utter gorgon. I don't really know what a gorgon is like, but I am quite sure Lady Bracknell is one. In any case, she's a monster.
Well, without being a myth.
Which is rather unfair. I do beg your pardon, Algy. I suppose I shouldn't talk about your own aunt in that way before you...
Oh, my dear fellow, I love hearing my relations abused. It's the only thing that makes me put up with them at all. Relations are simply a tedious pack of people without the remotest knowledge about how to live, nor the smallest instinct of when to die.
There you are again, talking nonsense.
Well, there's nothing else to do.
You do it all the time.
It's who haven't got...
Practice of the primitive church was distinctly against matrimony.
That is obviously the reason why the primitive church has not lasted up to the present day. The Bible insisted a man can not inside his own house.
And... action.
No married man is ever attractive, except to his wife.
Often, I've been told, not even to her.
That depends on the intellectual sympathies of the woman. Maturity can always be depended on. Ripeness can be trusted. Young women are green. Spoke of horticulture. My metaphor was drawn from fruits. But I see that we have a visitor. baby.
Then we'll do a number through there. Okay.
You run over there. Well, it's quite nice that you do a bit. Just a bit.
And action!
Present! Where is that baby?
Take one on the end.
Very good, Anna.
Are we going again?
Yes, I think we are. Present! Where is that baby? Cut. Well done, Anna.
Cut.
Lovely.
20. If she could bear to do one more, I would love it. But can I talk it through?
Which bit do you want to have a look at it?
Where you get paid.
Right.
Stuff themselves while they're stuffing us.
But also asking what kind of station you go
Exactly.
with. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Where's the carpet?
Okay. Okay.
2 weeks.
6:41, take one.
Okay, Tony.
Yeah, let this smoke build up in between the carriages here. Lots more. That's good now, okay?
And action!
Cut.
237, take 4.
Okay, Tony.
Yes.
And action.
Miss Prism.
Child? Which reminds me, Miss Prism, I almost forgot to mention that Dr. Chasuble is expecting you in the vestry.
In the vestry? Dr. Chasuble?
Expecting you, yes.
That sounds serious. I do not think it would be right to keep him waiting, Cecily.
It would be very, very wrong. The vestry is, I am told, excessively damp.
This parting, Miss Cardew, is very painful.
But I suppose you cannot desert poor Mr. Bunbury in his hour of need.
I don't care about Bunbury anymore. I don't seem to care about anything anymore. I only care for you. I love you, Cecily.
And roll sound.
So can you stand a little bit further out, please? Very much. Just lean back and that, please.
242, take 1.
Okay, Tony.
Yeah.
And action.
Mr. Worthing, I would ask you not to interrupt Miss Cardew's studies.
My departure will not be long delayed. I've merely come to bid goodbye, Miss Cardew.
Why did you try to put a horrid bill on Uncle Jack? It was inexcusable.
I know, I'm sorry. Perhaps I'm not yet entirely reformed.
I wonder you can look me in the face after your conduct.
I love looking you in the face.
Mr. Worthing?
Miss Prism.
Child?
Which reminds me, Miss Prism, I almost forgot to mention that Dr. Chasuble is a very... Can I do that bit again?
Yeah,
Sorry. I love looking you in the face.
Mr. Worthing?
Miss Prism.
Child?
Which reminds me, Miss Prism, I almost forgot to mention that Dr. Chasuble is expecting you in the vestry.
In the vestry? Dr. Chasuble?
Expecting you, yes.
It sounds serious. I do not think it would be right to keep him waiting, Cecily.
It would be very, very wrong. The vestry is, I'm told, excessively damp.
Cut.
248, take 3.
Okay, Tony.
Yeah.
And quiet, please. And action.
When was the engagement actually settled?
On the 14th of February last, after a long struggle with myself, I accepted you under this dear old tree here. And the next day I bought this little ring in your name, which I promised you always to wear.
Did I give you this? It's very pretty, isn't it?
Yes, you've wonderfully good taste, Ernest. It's the excuse I've always given for you leading such a bad life. And this is the box. And this is the box in which I keep all your dear letters.
My own sweet, I have never written you any letters.
Oh, you need hardly remind me of that, Ernest. I remember only too well how I was forced to write your letters for you. I wrote always 3 times a week, and sometimes oftener. Oh, no, you couldn't possibly. They would make you far too conceited.
Really?
The 3 you wrote me after I'd broken off the engagement are so beautiful, so badly spelled that even now I can hardly read them without crying a little.
Was our engagement ever broken off?
Yes, of course it was. On the 22nd of last March. You can see the entry if you like.
Before I can get higher for this bit.
What
What a perfect angel.
Right.
Action.
What a perfect angel you are. What a perfect angel you are.
You dear romantic boy.
You know, I never really thought of myself as the marrying kind until now. You must never break it off again, Cecily. Huh?
Well, I don't think I could break it off, now that I've actually met you. Besides, of course, there is the question of your name.
Yes, of course.
You mustn't laugh at me, darling, but it has always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone whose name was Ernest. There's something in that name that seems to inspire absolute confidence.
Yes, but my dear sweet, do you mean to say you couldn't love me if I had some other name?
But what name?
I know the old name. Algie, for instance.
But I don't like the name Algie.
My own dear, sweet, loving little darling. I think Algie is not really a bad name at all. In fact, it's rather an aristocratic name. I mean, more than half the chaps who get into the bankruptcy court are called Algie. Oh, but seriously, Cecily, if I was called Algie, couldn't you love me?
I might respect you, Ernest. I might admire your character. But I fear that I would never be able to give you my undivided attention.
The dog cart is ready for us, Sam.
And now you must go, my love. The sooner then shall you return. What a charming boy. I like his hair so much. I must enter his proposal into my diary.
Cut. Very good, you two. Very nice. Thank you.
You mustn't laugh at me, darling, but it's always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone whose name is Ernest. There's something in that name that seems to inspire absolute confidence.
Yes, but my own sweet child, do you mean to say you couldn't love me if I had another name?
But what name?
And then, Algie, for instance.
But I don't like the name Algie.
My own sweet, darling little love. I think it's really not a bad name at all. I mean, in fact, it's a very aristocratic name. More than half of the chaps in the bankruptcy court are called Algie. No, but seriously, Cecily, if I was called Algie, couldn't you love me?
I might respect you, Ernest. I might admire your character. But I fear that I would never be able to give you my undivided much.
The dog cart is ready for you, sir.
And now you must go, my love. Sooner than shall you return. What a charming boy. I like his hair so much. I must enter his proposal into my diary. Where's my pen?
Camera.